Welcome back. My guest on the couch this evening is Arts and Culture Minister Nathi Mthethwa, who's with me on the program. And Samro, when I promoted this show on Twitter, said they think they're going to be excluded from the niddle time that I think you launched with the SABC earlier this week, something that the artists have been fighting for some time, that they should receive payments, the musicians have been, but that the government seems to be working with one specific organization to the exclusion of Samro. Firstly, how is niddle time going to work, and how are the payments going to be made?
Well, the issue of royalties for us is about artists, is about recording companies themselves. But we would work with anyone and anybody who would have a sense of urgency for artists to get what belongs to them. Now, there's been toing and froing between SABC and the collecting agencies, IMPRA and SAMPRA, whatever their disagreements. In fact, I did say at SABC that they should resolve this matter with the other agency, so that the members of SAMPRA also benefit. When IMPRA said they were ready with SABC, my major interest was that they would be ready to ensure that artists get what belongs to them. So that's why I was there. I would work with anybody. I would work with SAMPRA, I would work with SAMPRA and everybody. If there is a dispute, let that dispute don't go forever and at the expense of the artist, that the artists suffer at the end of the day. I said to IMPRA, for instance, that now that SABC has given you the portion which belongs to your members, then I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, I said, I expect that by next week you get artists on board, your members, so that we see the process of them starting getting what they belong to them. In the meantime, the portion which belongs to others should be given to them so that they also administer that. Ours is an oversight over everybody. You see, now we're talking about 18 radio stations, SABC, but we have many other people who are, you know, have not given due where it belongs, and that is to the artists primarily. And we'll pursue that to ensure that at the end of the day, we don't have the story of musicians, artists generally dying paupers, when in fact their toil should be their ticket to better life. And we will push for that, and we'll fight for it, and to ensure that at the end of the day, really people get what belongs to them. Because how do you explain a situation that we are talking about what the Supreme Court of Appeal agreed for 2014-2015, we're still going to be talking about 2015-2016, but there is a whole lot of historical period, which we still need to talk about, so that at the end of the day, that is really unleashed to the owners of art.
Minister, I suspect that there's going to be a call for reparations even in the industry. It is possible. Is it a likelihood, do you think?
Well, we'll explore everything, Tim, which is possible. What is important for us is that if there is a clear-cut case, the SCA here has played a key role, because nobody would ignore that. We still are mulling over the situation where some of the greats died not great, or greatly.
Sure.
And see what is it that will take to ensure that, of course, they won't benefit, but their families should benefit. So would do everything which is needed, Tim.
Now, last week you were at the Summer Awards. And there are a whole variety of events of this nature that you attend. And I still want to talk about things like museums and other parts of your work. In summary, before I talk about the event, what exactly is your minister responsible for? Because, you know, it's like a pick and choose, right? If you like music, you can stay on the music and exclude every other thing. When you summarize the responsibilities of your department, what do you say there?
Well, Tim, it's mainly about nation building and social cohesion, using whatever tool at our disposal, whether it's tools from different genres of arts, of culture, of heritage. So when we have awards like we do, like summer, which are very specific awards, we are happy as department, because what they do is to recognize that musician through his or her craft and so on. But there are many others dealing with actors and so on. We thought that our responsibility and our mandate of ensuring that we really, you know, reach a point where we have a socially cohesive nation, we use awards and other, you spoke about the museums, the whole area of heritage, for instance. There's a big debate about the naming and renaming. That's our responsibility as well, to ensure that at the end of the day, we are responding to the changing situation of our country, taking into cognizance that plurality and living side by side as South Africans through unity in diversity is realized in concrete terms. So and ours is quite broad.
And I want to talk about the social cohesion, nation-building elements of this, but if you can tell me a bit more about the USIBA Cultural Awards. I just referred to some, they are very popular, many people know about that. But USIBA, how different is it?
Well, USIBA, we saw that there are gaps in the awards we have. We needed to cover the whole scope of arts, of culture, of heritage. Because I believe, for instance, the department is not named correctly, because heritage becomes a stepchild of arts and culture when both are actually equal. In fact, we have made a contribution to that effect with the review of the white paper. USIBA then goes to a situation where you pick up areas, for instance, technical and production areas, which has not been pursued over a period of time. And there are people who are doing wonderful work there, specifically on designs and so on. You have issues of culinary in South Africa, because this is part of our heritage. And we must start talking about South Africa's cuisine. What is ours? People will tell you that when you go to France or when you go to Ghana or wherever, they will tell you what is theirs. So we should be exposed as South Africa to our own through different regions, because different regions, you know, have different tastes and so on, but all of those are South Africa. But also look at some of the areas which may have been left out, the literary world, which is important for us. For instance, as part of this an education and educating society and reminding each other where we come from, we honored people like B.W. Vilakazi, which we think that South Africans should know of this hero, because during Africa Month last year, my guest of honor was Nguki Wationgo. And one of the things he said when we were discussing with him our program, Crisscrossing the Country, he said, South Africa does not realize how rich it is in the literary world. They, Nguki and others, were actually encouraged to be where they are today because of South Africans. He mentioned people like the Domo brothers, He mentioned PW Vilakazi and many others. So we thought that those areas which may, fall through the cracks, not deliberately, let's have all of them together, but also have iconic areas. You have, for instance, the indigenous knowledge wisdom, which has not been one of the areas where it's awarded on a continuous basis. So it's filling such gaps.
No, thanks very much for that. But as I said, at least forewarned is forearmed. Nothing to be concerned about. We'll be talking social cohesion and nation building in a moment. I'm talking to the Minister of Arts and Culture, Minister Nathi Mthethwa. Join us. You also share your comments on Twitter at #Modise Network.